everybody. I have finally finished grading and commenting on your literary analysis rough drafts. So please make sure you go into your grades, click on the assignment, and find in the comment section what you'll see is an attached document. It's a Word document with all of my feedback and changes and suggestions that I have offered. I do want to say that on a whole, largely, I'm really pleased with the drafts that I saw. You guys have solid, strong ideas, and there's only a little bit of stuff that you have to do in order to kind of get these good ideas into really strong literary analysis. So I have a video I want to go over where I address some of the larger global issues that I saw in people's rough drafts. So the first thing that I want to mention is that I have changed the due date from Sunday, the 1st of December, to Tuesday, November 3rd, mainly because I want to make sure. I know that I said that I would give you your feedback on Tuesday, and I was a little bit late giving you your feedback back. So I want to make sure that everybody has enough time to dedicate to make the changes that they want to make and not, have no time over the weekend to kind of put everything aside and take a little bit of time off. So you can turn it in anytime between now and the 3rd of November, but the due date you'll see in Canvas has been changed from November 1st to November 3rd. The other thing that I want to mention is that in your introductions, please make sure you have the title of the novel and the author. You also want to make sure that you have some sort of contextual framework before you jump right into your thesis statement. And what I mean by that is really kind of establish a premise for the novel itself. What's it about? Tell me, if you're writing a character analysis, introduce the character that you're analyzing. You don't have to tell me what imagery is or what symbolism is or what some sort of literary device, whatever the literary device that you're analyzing. You don't have to give me those kind of fluffy, empty phrases. You really want to consider establishing a contextual framework before you jump right into your thesis statement. The one thing that I also want to mention is when doing the title of the novel, it should be italicized. It should not be in quotation marks. It shouldn't be italicized and in quotation marks. Titles of novels with MLA format are just simply italicized. So please make sure that your novel title is italicized and all of the words are in the title are capitalized. The other thing that I want to mention really quickly is that you want to make sure that your tense is in present. Remember, literature is not dead. These things should be written about in the present tense. So it wouldn't be Vera killed Lombard. No, Vera kills Lombard in an effort to save herself. So please make sure that you change whatever, if you've written in the past tense, please make sure you alter that and put it in the present tense. Going back to your thesis statements in your introduction, please make sure that it is clear and specific, and it should be the last sentence of your introductory paragraph. And for those of you who may need to tweak your thesis statements a little bit, I have offered a bunch of feedback, so please pay attention to that feedback, because there are 3 things that you're going to have in your thesis statement in order for it to be analytically sound. You want to have the topic or your literary element or your theme, your stance, your interpretation, etc., and why it matters. So what? Because all of the body paragraphs are going to connect back to this so what. Why does it matter? What's the larger implication? when you have your paragraphs, please make sure that they are pieces of pie. You want to have your point, and I want to talk more about your point in just a second. You have your illustrations or your textual support, and then an explanation of not only the interpretation of your textual support, but an explanation in which you connect this paragraph back to your thesis statement. If you are confused about that, please, please, please email me or go back through and watch the PowerPoint on how to write a literary analysis. With a topic sentence, and this is probably by and large the biggest issue that I saw, bar none, in each of my rough drafts. Your topic sentences should not be obvious. They should not be plot related. Instead, they should make a clear, arguable point that's not only related to your thesis, but something that is going to indicate to your reader what that paragraph is going to analyze or elaborate or clarify. So instead of saying, all of the characters are brought to Soldier Island and they all begin to die. Okay, so that's an obvious plot related topic sentence. Instead, you should say something. If this is a setting analysis, you could say the setting of Soldier Island creates a sense of isolation among the guests, or something like that. You really want to make sure that what you're saying is arguable, it's related to your thesis, and it's not obvious or gives some sort of plot related synopsis. Your quote integration, I actually did not have to say anything about quote integration for a lot of you, which I was really pleased about. Usually that's one of the most common things that I have to mention. So kudos to you guys. But just to reiterate, direct quotations can't stand on their own. They have to be woven into sentences. The one issue that I did notice is with MLA format. Please make sure that you have your name, my name, the course name, and the day that the paper is due in the upper left-hand corner, and in the upper right-hand corner you have your last name and the page number. The other thing that I want to mention with MLA format is your in-text citations. In-text citations only have the author's last name and the page number, and they are after, hold on, let me get my pen here. They come after, at the end of a sentence. So here's my quoted material right here, but my in-text citation isn't going to come right here. It's going to come at the end of this sentence. So please make sure that your in-text citations are there first and foremost, and that they come at the end of the sentence that they are in. You don't want to end a paragraph with a direct quotation, nor do you want to start a paragraph with a direct quotation. Talking more about in-text citations, your in-text citations only have the author's last name and page number. They do not have, hold on, or whatever. There's none of this stuff in an MLA in-text citation. That's an APA citation. You don't, it's a clean pool. It's only the author's last name and the page number. So please pay attention to that. You also want to make sure that they are in quote parentheses and not brackets or any other kind of weird squiggly kind of line. You want to make sure that your in-text citations are in parentheses. The other and final kind of comment that I want to make in regards to your essays, because I didn't see it in your rough drafts, is that you have to have a works cited page. And that works cited page should be a separate page, even if it's only one thing on it. And you should cite your source or the novel as a book with one author. And you can find the formula for that in your little seagull on page 134. But I have given you what this looks like in this kind of formula where you have the author's last name, first name, the title of the novel in italics, and then depending on your version of the novel, indicate the publisher and the date of publication. And the one thing that I do want to mention with the date of publication is that it should be the year closest to 2020. Typically, when you're looking at a, what's it called, the publication information on that, with the copyright and all that type of thing, you're going to see a variety of dates. And the one that I know all of you all will see will be 1939 because it was originally published in 1939. But you are not reading a 1939 edition of the novel. If you were, you would be rich because it would be your first edition. So please make sure that you have the date that's closest to ours, 2020. My particular copy, or one of my particular copies of the novel, is 2011. There are some with 2015. You can also look at the syllabus and you'll also see the citation information there. So please make sure that you have a works cited page with the novel and any other sources that you cite. And if you have anything else on your works cited page, it needs to be in you need to have both in-text citations and it should be on your works cited page. Finally, and I know I'm rambling on, things that you want to avoid, like the plague. You want to avoid declarative sentence. I am going to analyze, this paper will discuss, things like that. And these empty personal phrases like I believe, in my opinion, I think. And I do want to add, it seems, or it could be. Really be authoritative and make the claim it is, or it is instead of it seems. So, and finally, you guys have gotten really a lot better about these types of phrases, and I'm tickled pink. The other thing that I want to mention is you really want to avoid the second person you, like the plague. Please avoid using second person you because it, like I said, it creates this weird relationship between the author and the reader, and it's not a convention of academic writing. So please take a look at my comments, my observations, and my suggestions for you all. If you have any questions about what you see in your kind of feedback, please do not hesitate to either email me, call me, or come to my office hours. I will have office hours this afternoon. As I'll have office hours this afternoon, and I will be available tomorrow. If any of you would like to meet with me during tomorrow, just please email me and I'll schedule a time. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, outrage, or protest, and I look forward to hearing from you. And again, you guys have super solid, strong, rough drafts. All you have to do is kind of look at my feedback and make any kind of revisions that are necessary. And I'm super excited to see what you guys come up with as your final drafts.